Так. Панель управления в новом окне. Опять какие-то, блин. В общем, друзья, если вы смотрите этот стрим в записи, то если вы как-то хотите поддержать, можете поставить лайк под этот стрим и подписаться на канал. Это очень поможет. Так, а я сейчас начну. У меня капец, блин, ничего не работает. Вчера хотел. Так, игра-то будет видно. Вот так, нажимаем сюда. Это мы вообще выходим отсюда. Заходим в сраный кингдом. Господи, как я его уже ненавижу. Что полно использовать? Ясно, меня телефон. Меня телефон нахуй послал. Так, сейчас я открою. Ебу. Ой, это мой стрим, вау. CryEngine. Видно игру? А меня вот, блядь. ОБС, короче, обновлялась, я вообще ничего не могу. Еле как вебку запустил. Здорово, Слава. Король Чехии, блядь, это я.
Had a long and successful reign.
Я король Чехии.
The empire he ruled from Prague expanded, and his subjects lived in peace and prosperity.
Кикай там из Дискорда все. Так, блядь.
When the emperor died, the whole empire mourned. More than 7.
Да, игру видно, к сожалению. На чем я остановился? На том, что мне надо... Надо было что-то кого-то там найти рыжего пацана и убить его, да? Бля. А где? Что происходит? Найти рыжего, убить разбойников. Так. Найти рыжего и убить разбойников. Господи. А где я вообще? А мне надо тех разбойников, что ли, убить, которых я видел? Тогда, да? Петров какой-то, ебать, танком проехали. Это они, что ли?
Come this way, neighbor, for the finest game around.
Оу, щет. А где меня загрузило-то, ё-моё? Блять, подгрузки просто вахуй. Сегодня надо пройти так достаточно. А то я что-то вообще... Где мне этих разбойников найти, йоу? Они где-то здесь ведь были, да? Тихо, не падай. Так, это что? Это углежоги. Меня сохранило, когда я убил этого. Меня реально сохранило, когда я этого убил. Сушеные грибы у него заберу. Потому что нехуй грибы сушить. Ну, поехали тогда. Ёбаная игра говна. Так. Поехали сюда. Блин, саркастик меня этой игрой добьет. У меня было столько планов постримить. Разное. Сейчас я стримлю ёбаный кингдом. Так. А где этих ёпты разбойников-то найти? Так они вроде убиты все уже, не? Если это про тех разбойников, которых я думаю, они ж вроде мертвы все, не? Ёбаное говно. Зайца. А зайца можно затоптать? Нет. Ладно. Они где-то здесь. Мы бы тут. Стримишь говно, план соблюдается. Да они?
That was different. It was night, it was lots of us and run.
Greetings, my good man. May I ask you a question?
Ask first, then I'll ask you something.
Really? Good then. We're looking for Ginger, a stable boy at a nearby stud farm. Have you seen him anywhere?
I don't know anyone called that. I'm not even from this part of the country.
What a shame. We're worried about him, but we can't seem to find him.
Charcoal burners.
Oh, definitely. Thank you for your advice.
Здорово, Максим. Мне их убить, что ли, надо?
Lost something here?
That's him. I'll slaughter you.
Блять. Ё-моё! Ты погиб в бою, ебать, круто. Так, а где саркастик-то? И для кого это говно стримлю? Ладно. Так, мне надо развернуться на 180 рублей. Здорово, Миша. А чё ненавидишь? Да наш говно. Объективно. Косо слепленная. Так мне их убить надо. Игра окончена, финал. Я был бы рад этому на самом деле. Постримим вы контру, блин, я не знаю. Фазмофобию, блин, в доту, нахуй. В доту лучше играть, чем в это. Костя, здорово. Объективный кал. Да реально, блядь. Лучше б я контру стримил. Зачем играешь? Ну, действительно. Играю за тем, что не хочу деньги возвращать. Миша, как обычно, пишет, да. Заставили меня, понимаешь? Заставили. Деньгами. Надо пересмотреть свой... Ёпта. Так, давай я тогда сразу их, что ли, начну обстреливать.
Who's there? Vic? What's going on there?
Блять, обстрелять я могу только свое ебло, по-моему.
What's the matter?
А чё собака-то не помогает вообще?
Is that the best you can do?
Да блять, да блять.
Is that all you've got?
А чё они быстрые-то такие? Ёбаный. Блять. Макс дал Габену денег. Габену? Почему не мне? У меня, кажется, возникла гениальная мысль. Как их убить? Они, блядь, какие-то быстрые. Ярик. Так. Садимся на лошадку. А если я их с лошади обстреливать буду, это законно? Я же могу это делать, да? Может, все-таки нахер лук? Да бля, ну а что еще делать? Я их не убивал, я сразу рыжего нашел. А где он? Так а чё ты молчал, блядь, тупой что ли? Говори, где он. Я его тоже найду и убью. Ёбну его по башке. Там, блин, выходит The Last of Us всякий. Всякие другие видеоигры. Я стримлю кал.
Vic?
Понял.
Bring it on! Is that all you've got?
Блядская игра говнища.
What's the matter? Come on! I'll slaughter you!
Да... Сука, пошли ты нахуй, а? Где он? Бля, их легче, наверное, зарубить просто, да? Я это говно прошел, забыл, как страшный сон. Охуеть, спасибо за совет. Драка, блядь, с бомжами. Просто кайф. Спасибо за видеоигру. Может... Ну его нахуй. Вообще не хочу в это играть. Зарубите. А тут есть что-то типа копья? Что-то типа копья тут, блять, я не знаю, есть. Давай я сначала с ними поговорю.
But what if it doesn't work out like that? Let's just find him, chop them fingers off and bash his...
Greetings, my good man.
Ask first.
Really?
Я тоже
I was just about to ask you two the same thing. I'm looking for him too.
Then it's a pity neither of us has found him yet.
Thank heavens I've found you though. I imagine you two might be able to tell me something about Neuhoff. Hmm?
I see. Well, we can give you a little demonstration of what happened there.
Enjoy this.
Is that the best you can do?
Тихо, 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 тихо. Тихо! Нихуя себе. Ты чё, охуел? Собачка, помогай!
Gone weak at the knees, have you? Is that all you've got?
Блядь, тут еще и несколько людей дерутся.
You'll get my boy.
Ударил? Да, у меня собака всех загрызла. Фух. А тварь скалендулы, блядь, охуенно. А откуда у него был? Да я убил их. Он. Малый набор броника, что-то интересно. Так. Мне надо что, поесть? И поспать. Не-не-не-не-не-не. Блядь, как отменить? Вставай, ёбаный шашлык. По крайней мере, я их отпиздил. Так, мне надо, знаешь... Это мне надо. Что? Оно хилит? Грязкий говно. О, ну я захилился. Так, где он там сидит? Здесь, да, где-то? Как маркер поставить? Вот здесь? Ну, плюс-минус, да, где-то здесь. Пошли, я его найду. Убил 2 людей ни за что. Как ни за что? Они как бы сами на меня напали, да? Начнем с этого. Вот это я паркур, конечно. Держись, сука. Я ведь его убью. Ну, разбойников я растащил. Так, где-то здесь, да? А поконкретнее нет нигде. Что-то где-то здесь. А где? Так, вот этот. Я приближу. Ну, где-то здесь. Вроде. Давай там попробую найти. Блять, найти дебила в лесу. Вот это, конечно. А, он... Это он? Это оно?
It's not.
Jesus, you've led me a merry dance.
What do you want from me?
I want to ask you a couple of questions. Why did you run off like
Привет,
that?
хрупкости.
Where are your cronies? And why did you kill that bandit?
What?
Right, one thing at a time.
Почему ты сбежал?
Why did you run off in such a hurry?
Because I was afraid they'd come back and kill me.
Who?
Those bandits, of course.
To get revenge on you for killing their mate?
Killing? Me? I never killed anyone. God is my witness.
Почему ты
Why did you
убил?
kill that bandit?
What? Bandit? I never killed anyone.
This is yours, isn't it? I pulled it from the belly of a dead bandit near the stud farm.
That is mine, but I didn't stab him. That fellow took it from me.
What fellow?
I don't know his name, but he's from Ujits, and he has a limp.
What can you tell me about him? How do you know him?
I saw him a few times in the tavern in Ujits, playing dice and boozing.
And?
I know he lives in a house on the edge of the village, but that's all I know. I never talked to him.
And now tell me exactly what happened. And don't leave anything out.
That's quite a long story.
You don't have to tell me everything, just who they were and where they went.
I only recognized one of them, a fellow from Ujits with a limp. He lives in a house on the edge of the village, but he's in the tavern there whenever he has the coin.
What else do you know?
Nothing. That's all.
I've heard everything I need to.
А я
hear, so
могу
I'll leave
его
you be.
убить?
Wait, what about me? Won't you help me out?
Perhaps I could. What would you like?
I'd like to go back to the stud farm, but those cutthroats who want to kill me are still around. Will you help me?
They're out of the way. I ran into them on my travels.
Really? That's great, but
What?
I'm afraid to go back to the farm. I ran away, and God knows what they'll think about it all. I don't know if they'll even want to talk to me.
I could go and ask them if it's important to you.
Would you? You'll definitely have their respect, the way you took care of those cutthroats.
Да, брат. Сейчас потренируем стрельбу и звука на тебя. Ты охуел? А почему я его убить не могу, эй? Ужасная игра, блядь. Кого? Если пройти к нему немного позже, он может улучшить твой навык крепкого. Я убить его хочу, нахуй. Почему я его убить-то не... Блядь. Ладно. Он сюжетный перс, поэтому он неуязвим. До слез. Вот единственное, что мне здесь нравится, это природа. Как... Я беру свои слова нахуй назад. Я его мечом бил, странно. Ну да, ну да. Как маркер убрать? Я буду главным хейтером, так и всех сюжетных персонажей бить можно просто урон не проходит. Так у меня вообще даже стрела в него не полетела. Там крестик. Блядь. Серьезно? Так, этих бомжей я убил. Залутал с них не то чтобы много. Но деньги залутал. Ой, саркастик, конечно, заставил ты меня проходить то еще говно. Но ничего не поделаешь. Придется. А фаст тревел в игре разве нет? Да похуй. Похуй так дает. Вот, мне нравится езда на животном. Это атмосферно. Верховая езда, кстати, повышается. Скоро я буду... Я не знаю, зачем мне навыки эти. Так, ну я почти доехал. А чё по заданиям-то? Иди расскажи Бернарду, что ты узнал. Должен спросить на конном заводе, можно ли вернуться в режим. Пошел нахуй сам, пусть приходит, дебил, блядь. Из-за него умерло 4 человека. Вау, я даже с правильной стороны подъехал. Но она сделана на уровне очень, конечно, деревянно, как вот ладно записал, но чисто из очень реалистично. Да. Блять, можно эту собаку зарублю?
Well, well. Look who deigns to grace us with his presence.
I was looking for that boy and
And you didn't bother telling anyone.
I had to follow the trail before it went cold.
And what if some bandit skewered you and left you for dead? We'd never find you because you told no one where you were going. How would I explain that to Sir Radzig, eh? I really don't know, my lord. He disappeared without saying a word to anyone. Never crossed my mind he wanted to get himself killed.
I...
Silence! Keep your ignorant mouth shut when I'm giving you the benefit of a veteran's wisdom. You do what I tell you, answer only when I ask, and not go roaming off whenever you feel like it. I'd like to kick your arse back to the castle and be shut of you. But it's true, you're a fucking peasant who knows nothing about soldiering, and it's my job to whip you into shape, so I'm not done with you yet. God have mercy on you if you ever try anything like that again. If you're lucky, I'll only have you whipped and clapped in the stocks, because if I get my way, you'll be hanged for desertion. I hope we've got that out of the way. I've made myself absolutely clear. And now,
Дисплей водный. Пройти
I talked to
обучение.
Ginger and found out what happened.
out with it then.
Ginger fled because he recognized one of the raiders. He was afraid they'd come back to silence him.
Well, he was right. They were asking about him. So who did he recognize?
He didn't know his name. Some fellow with a limp from Ujits.
All right, since you've gone this far, you may as well ask around in Ujits. We've enough to do here in these parts anyway. Sir Radzig will tell you about it. He said to send you to him if you haven't already been.
Доложить пану Рецку о том, как идет расследование. Ним? Ней?
I found Ginger. He begged me to ask if he can return, man.
Why should I take him back? It might be his fault I had to bury my husband.
What?
Why else would he flee but guilt? The men said they didn't see him in bed. He didn't have a clean conscience because he gave those murderers a signal.
That's not true. He fled because one of the attackers recognized him and Ginger was afraid he'd come back and kill him.
Those are just excuses. He wouldn't dare come back.
But they came back the very same day. If he hadn't run, they'd have killed him and everyone else.
Why would they do that?
Why not? They'd already murdered several people, why not a few more?
And now I'm supposed to take him back? What if they come back for him and kill one of my daughters in the process?
The cutthroats who were after him have been taken care of. And the rest have no reason to return here.
And what about for revenge? I can't take him back.
И чё?
There's no need to fear vengeance. The bandits who were looking for Ginger are in hell, and no one else knows about him.
But what if they find out somehow?
The only way they could find out would be a holy vision. Anyway, I reckon they'll have more pressing concerns than coming back here.
Well, all right. Let him come back. But he'd better not do anything like that again. May the Lord watch over you.
Скажи Рыжему, что он... Блядь, как же заебался. Я поиграл в эту игру 30 минут и уже заебался.
What business have you?
My lord, I managed to find a clue to the whereabouts of the bandits.
Excellent. Fern had already told me what's been happening, but I'd like to hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
The whole story, or just the gist of it, sir?
It's up to you what you consider important.
Кого?
Well, in the end, I tracked down the stable boy who fled in fear of his life, and for good reason, too. He put me on the trail of a crofter from Ujit with a limp.
And his name?
But the boy didn't know him by name, only by sight. But if I ask around, I'm sure folk will know who limps and keeps peculiar company.
Я в ахуе.
Villagers like to gossip.
But what if he's not there? He could have fled, maybe even to Kuttenberg.
If I don't find him in Ujits, I'll ask around. Someone will know something about him.
All right. Better go to Ujits then. Find this limping footpad and get the names of the others out of him. They have to face justice for what they did. I want to see them hang. Then bring him to me in Merhoyed and I'll decide on his fate.
Certainly, sir.
Общий уровень, новый уровень сила.
Good luck to you. Найди Нойховского разбойника в лужнице. Это где, блядь? Ебануться. Да. Вот это быстрые переходы. А на меня могут по пути напасть бомжи какие-нибудь? Эта игра, это мучение. Крутая загрузка. Так. Вообще, тут это я уже вообще не помню. То есть мне никто не поможет, жесть. Симулятор бомжа в говне. Кайфовая игра. Придорожная часовня. Ёбаный в рот. Ладно. Так, мне куда? Тут дороги есть вообще в этой игре? Едем на лошадке. Сарказик, надеюсь, поможет. Надеюсь. Я как в том меме, я уже никому не доверяю и ничего не жду. Саркастик, ты мне специально заплатил так много, чтобы я это не дропнул, да? Ну, ты был прав. Мне совесть не позволит это дропнуть, хотя я очень хочу. Найти разбойника какого-то надо. Лужница. Узнай, где живет хромой разбойник. Вопрос. У кого, блядь?
Так, ну поехали в сам город. Пока посмотрим там. Так, точка перехода. Так, это центр, да, центр. Здесь балаклейщик. Ну да, это центр. Центр этого поселения.
Radishes, carrots, and apples.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I'm looking for a fellow who lives here, but I don't know his name. Do you know anyone with a limp?
What would you want with him? Well, it's no skin off my nose. The bastard has a cottage on the edge of the village by the road to Ratai.
May the Lord watch over you.
А, это было легко. Я думаю, будет сложнее найти его. Так.
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
That's what you call nothing to see. I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him.
Sakra. Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Окей.
When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now. And nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scum.
Босяк был, да еще и
Can't say I'm
мерзавец.
too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or holed up at home.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I saw him with anyone.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. But he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Окей, круто, бля.
Another thing about Lubosh.
Круто. Так, что дальше? Узнайте больше.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Of course. Ask away.
Да господи.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a drunk who was always looking for a fight. Nobody liked him much, but I wouldn't wish an end like that on any man.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Well, now I think of it, I hadn't seen him around for a while. No idea where he was skulking.
Так.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
Not a clue.
Они
Do you know
все
anyone
его
Lubosh used to spend
покрывают.
time with, relatives or friends?
He was a loner. He didn't even have any mates in the tavern.
Они, видимо, его все покрывают, да?
Thank you.
Good health to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Sir Hanush gives a job like that to a young fellow like you? Well, what do I care? Ask.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a strange one. Always drinking, bad-tempered. Lord...
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
I didn't see much of him lately. Not even in the tavern.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home at all.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with, relatives or friends?
I really don't know. As far as I know, he had no kin. I never saw...
Окей.
That's all. Thank you.
Либо он настолько стелсовый чувак. Либо он настолько стелсовый чувак, либо он реально даже ни с кем не общался, ничего. Окей, пошли к святому. Господи, так. Ну, пока вроде нормально идет. Ну, за исключением того, что я 2 раза от разбойников сдох. Пока вроде стабильно идет. Без затупов. Ага. Временное жилье. Угу. Нихуя себе священник. Отец.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
Bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son. And one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
For heaven's sake, Father, can you really look me in the eye and tell me that when you know you may be condemning innocent people to death?
I can, because if I broke that vow, the consequences would be much worse than if I didn't.
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhof raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. Suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern. Over a...
All right. Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Встретьте священника вечером в корчме. Окей. Вечером это во сколько? Не люблю вот эти вот неопределенности. Корчма или кто, блядь? Может, поем. Это корчма? Ну, видимо, да. А во сколько надо, до скольки? Я ищу где... Вот, где умыться можно.
And started counting out the corn.
Да, это корчма. Так. Пропустить время, ну, допустим, ну, 20 часов, это же вечер.
Huh?
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything, but maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was. But I really don't like to talk about it.
I understand. I'm sorry. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujit, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened in Noyo? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
It doesn't matter what happened there. The important thing is, a witness who could have led me further is nailed to a wall, and the only person who knows what he knew refuses to tell me.
You could put it that way, but I don't think you're being entirely fair, my son.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home.
Here you are. And good health.
I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubos told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life with a nice moral to them, especially if they're about fornication and similar.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching. I'm thinking about putting it in my own.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus, the lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison. And near just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every group. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. While Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you, amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is...
Oh, the congregational...
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit...
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those...
Нормально.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people...
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe?
Так.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticizes the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning.
Okay.
Where can I find out more about his...
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons.
Okay, похуй.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted in... Oh, it's getting quite late.
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Yeah. Навык пьянства. Nice.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj padł desnej smutek, do dnie i rano utek, niech ich małżeński majstrat, do wczera żylne staje brak, już sej wojska.
Нормально у него рука, как на шарнире.
Prawie to jedno, a tacy mamy jedno, a Boże ręce gubi jako posły nie. Murky zwabi, panorama stawi, a tak wypasuje, a posad se mi sen, tak posad se sen, a ty
Это мы в Дискорде.
Enough of this!
Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Oh. You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Бля.
Come on then, bailiff. You want to fight? So come and get it. Don't get in trouble. We'll just have a bit of
I'm going to... You won't last long.
Нормально. Насколько я помню, в песнях, которые используют до сих пор, принимали участие сам создатель игры, Вавра, что значит человек талантлив и все. Я никак это комментировать не буду. Таланта я здесь не увидел.
What's the step, my dears? Careful, you don't hurt yourself. Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
Да, я знаю, я это вижу.
This is wonderful.
Православная церковь.
And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Got him on you old goat.
Come here. Oh.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Ебать, где? Что происходит? Ладно.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Ну, хоть один нормальный квест.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell. Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. My poor suffering stomach. What was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
Пиздец.
Well, all right. I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
Так. Одежда-то где моя, ёб твою мать? Ну. Так. Так. Ладно. Стой, вместо чего они? Ебать, и делался. Ничего не забыл. Вроде бы все как есть. Бери, блядь, факи. Господи, идиот. Одень что-нибудь приличное для харизмы. Так у меня только эта одежда. А чё у меня приличного? Ничего. Так, мне был мыться. Жевательное железо без накидки. Без накидки. Так, что ли? Нормально, красноречие опять пошли. Или это тоже снять? Так, перчатки уберем. Ну вот так, да? Напомните потом одеть.
Never show up. The swill pole.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God. Any minute now he'll throw up.
Guess I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hoc facite in meam commemorationem.
Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will puke first.
Блядь, я каску-то не снял.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is.
That boy has a cheek.
Creation has given to every man the power by which he might rule the whole world. But that power does not give him the right to rule. That right belongs to God alone. It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, enemies, injustice, hunger and chaos, failed harvests, fires, floods and other catastrophes. And it is all due to the corrupt servants of God who do not practice what they preach. They think sins can be washed away by money, and they sell indulgences, and that's bad, because sins cannot be redeemed with silver.
Prague didn't do much for his confidence.
And such sins, Those who should lead with reason, who should shun debauchery and show the path of righteousness, which is the duty of all priests, instead they indulge in drunkenness and intoxication. Therefore the apostle says that a bishop may not be a drinker of wine, and parish priests must be sober. And it is written that when a bishop is a drinker of wine, he must be deposed, and a priest who drinks must be punished or deprived of his priesthood.
He's talking about Godwin. For sure he's talking about him, the drunkard.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you pay enough coin to Mother Church. Look at them. They booze like hypocrites and buy expensive jewels. They servants of God. And that is not right, because Christ preached poverty, and only poverty and temperance are true virtues.
And it was almost getting interesting.
Бля.
God sees what is happening on earth, and he is filled with righteous wrath that those who should seek the salvation of souls instead seek mammon and the idle comfort of lucrative posts. Blessed are the shepherds who share the poverty of their flock, who are as one with you and bear with you the burden of this earthly pilgrimage, who do not condemn your venial sins.
Aye, all honour to Godwin. Let him drink like one of us.
That is all I heard in Prague. Amen.
Have you no shame, you pair of buffoons? I'll be writing to the bishop of this. For shame.
Utterly blasphemous.
Can you believe such behaviour? For men of the cloth to get drunk at a pig's church.
So, is our deal still on?
Are you pulling my fucking pizzle? I couldn't have done worse myself if I'd puked on the altar.
Well, I'm no preacher.
Yeah, I noticed. And I wasn't the only one.
You can't be serious. After all that?
All what? All you making a complete hash of my sermon? You were supposed to help, not get me into even more trouble. Now I'll have the bishop on my back and all the villagers. Just leave. I need to pull myself together.
And what am I supposed to do?
Find someone else to help you.
Провалил миссию, Да хуя я это снял-то? Так, и перчатки, да? Забись.
Good health to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hannah.
I don't know nothing about it.
That man Lubosh who was murdered.
I didn't really know him. He kept...
Have you noticed anything?
I was one.
Ну, я думаю, что, на этом закончим. Квест я прошел. Там дальше что-то делать надо страшно. Или что дальше проходить, я хз. Так. Просто я бы тогда это самое переименовал красиво бы. Квест со священником. Было бы круто. Да, я, наверное, на этом сейчас закончу. И в понедельник обязательно продолжу. Если не умру. Так. В общем, друзья, всем большое спасибо за просмотр. Подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте лайки, смотрите другие стримы. Приходите на следующий в понедельник. А до сегодня все.